Hey guys, we'll get started in just a second. AR, why don't you try talking for a moment?
Hope I sound okay. I got a little bit of a scratchy throat, but I don't think it's affecting my voice too much yet.
Yeah, okay. May, try talking for a moment.
I'm going to talk, but I also have the feeling that Microsoft Teams might have fucked with this. No, the volume is fine.
No, you're good this time. It's not
Yeah,
what happened last time.
yeah. I think Discord and Teams like to argue. Like sometimes Teams will, if I have a Teams call, I'll have to then after the call change it back to from 30% to 100% because for some reason Teams decided to completely override everything because thanks Microsoft.
Okay. Okay, I
I
think
only use my work computer for work. That's how I get around that. Even though my work computer likes to have that same thing just on its
Yeah.
own.
my work computer is my home computer, so I'm good regardless.
My work computer is in the office. I'm just virtual machining into it, jumping in with a VPN, and that's great. But
Okay.
Sophos also does not like me having Discord on, so I tried a different way of getting to the call today without disconnecting Sophos, but nope, still had to disconnect Sophos. Thanks.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab 30 seconds starting now. Okay, that should be good. Every time we do that's when I realize my nose is itching or I need to adjust my glasses and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I know, same. It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Dual Podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, running with the will.
I'm Aaron Pulver, head of the campaign to get everyone to watch Appmon while Adventure's on hiatus.
And I'm May from Lost in Translation and also head of their campaign to get everyone to watch Revenge of Diaboromon every day until the Colin comes back.
That's a little harder because it's not on Crunchyroll.
No, just buy the Blu-ray DVDs from Japan, obviously.
Fair enough. It's a worthy
How it's meant to
pursuit.
be. That's how it's meant to be watched in Blu-ray that doesn't look particularly optimized.
How has everyone's week been?
Bad. Somebody's trying to fucking poison my dog, which is concerning.
God, is this just like the week of things going to fucking hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, this was last week.
More so than the last month has been, at least.
I mean, May and me got to deal with AR's favorite topic, tales from the subreddit.
Oh god, yes. Oh, that was. It's funny because I just don't care.
But here's the thing: it also brings a greater understanding to May of me, because May literally.
Yeah.
My favorite part was May literally going to me, I used to think you were a bit prickly. Now I wonder if you're a saint.
Yeah, you're definitely prickly, but you have reason for being prickly. I was always like, gee, Mark is sometimes very hard on people. He's very prickly. He's nice, but he can be a little bit prickly. And I'm like, oh no, that's completely reasonable. Why isn't he more of a cunt?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh, Reddit.
And here's the thing. We're not going to get into it, but I would just like to point out, and May will confirm this, I literally did nothing and didn't have anything to do with it in the first place, which is the best part of it.
Basically.
Literally nothing to do with me, and somehow I get the hurricane aimed at me when it had nothing to do with me in any form.
Yeah.
It was May.
It wasn't
just May.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah.
So, no title card for it, but I think we all kind of knew Adventure going on hiatus was coming, realistically, didn't we?
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to be literally this week. I thought, okay, we'll get the first 6 episodes out of the way. But
I was thinking 4 or 5, maybe.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered if, with them making it clear that 3 was an arc, if there wouldn't be an episode preview or if something would be there at the end saying it'd be going on hiatus. When it didn't, I figured, oh, we're good for at least another week. And then the next day we were not. because I
I
figured,
don't know if they planned that far ahead. Like,
no, but
I think airing the next episode previews just make sure that
no,
you
I
stick
know,
around for
but
next time whenever it happens.
but I mean there'd be like something at the end, at least when it aired in Japan, like the show will go on temporary hiatus or something. Once that was it, I was like, okay, we'll at least get through episode 4, and then the next day, no, we're not.
Is that how other shows have been doing it?
Other shows have been more random because, like, Toei announced all their stuff at once, which makes sense. A lot of shows have been doing the opposite and announcing, like, oh, we're going on a hiatus for 3 weeks. And then, no, we're not, because longer than 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, season 3 of Railgun, I think they had 2 clip shows. They delayed an episode for 3 weeks. They're delaying it again.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I think that was, like, the last episode of the season that they keep pushing back or something.
Are they doing clip shows because of like COVID-related delays, or just because they want to have a clip show?
I believe they were doing clip shows because at first they figured we'll air in 3 weeks, so we'll do 2 clip shows to lead up to the finale. I think that's what happened because one of those things where I watched season 1, didn't watch season 2, so I didn't really fully pay attention. I just vaguely remember 2 clip shows popping up.
I'd rather them just go on hiatus than just give a clip show, because clip shows technically count as actual episodes, and I don't know how I feel about that.
In this case, they're not. It's just like extra clip shows, I think. Although I don't technically know that. I know it was supposed to be 25 episodes, and the first half finale is what keeps getting delayed. So we'll see. I think Toei probably did it the right way, which is just going, we don't know when stuff will be, sitting there trying to think what they would do. Because they could have just aired like the first 3 episodes of Adventure and gone, you get to flashback, but those don't really scale up to modern TVs that well.
Oh, the original Adventure, yeah.
Well, because what else would they air is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could obviously show the first 3 episodes of the reboot again, but what happens if it goes longer than 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure. Yeah. But yeah. It's probably easier on One Piece, considering they have 1,000 episodes.
Yeah. At the same time, when they get more settled in and have a better idea of when they can show it, it would be nice for them to show the first 3 episodes again.
Yeah. That's what I would hope happen if it lasts long enough to do that.
Yeah.
I would also hope that they would probably do longer distribution on YouTube, because I think they're only doing a week per episode. Maybe just put the 3 episodes there for a while.
Yeah.
So, we'll get the show back soon enough. I mean, everyone kind of saw it coming a bit earlier than expected in general, but it will be back.
Hey, let's me get my Appmon reviews done.
Yeah, that's the true reason for the delay. It allows AR to catch up on his reviews.
I was annoyed that Kizuna was going to get in the way of the Appmon review. Then this thing drops.
Yeah. And man, the last few days has really just changed franchise stuff going forward for the year, hasn't it? Hey, and we have Kizuna coming out in July on my birthday at that. And here's the funny part. And May knows this, AR doesn't. Last night, I literally was writing stuff up for the subreddit about, nothing's been announced yet, blah, blah, an update post on that. And I'm like, maybe I'll wait to put it up tomorrow. And it's like, no, I might as well just do it just to get it done. And then I wake up early at about 9 o'clock, play around on my phone, figure I'll go back to sleep, decide, I'll check emails first. 1 minute ago, I see an email from a name that I recognize from Shout. I'm like, oh, fuck.
And don't even need to read the email.
Oh, no, I read the email, and then I got up and I realized, oh, the press emails are just going out right now, so no one knows yet. So I leaped into, got that up, and we've gotten a very slow drip of additional information throughout the day. So it's not a complete surprise, but the main surprise is that there is no Japanese release announced yet. So even if something is rushed into for Japan, we're going to get this not necessarily first, but right on the cusp of it.
Yeah, because we've talked about that before. We were expecting a Japanese release around that time, maybe a couple weeks later even.
I mean, I literally have a text document just full of my math estimates, which I think I copy-pasted you once, where it's like, this Toei film came out here, and if we estimate... But of course, all those estimates go out the window when you consider current problems.
Life is chaos right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of chaos, like, that title is just so weirdly spaced.
It's like, because of the background.
Well, okay,
it reminds me of the John Mulaney, like, I know how big words should be. This is me writing a happy birthday. Big ass H!
I don't
type will do that.
I don't really have any issue with the spacing. My issue, and not as bad as it was for Try, which was and I don't know if it's Toei or Shout, the idea that the logo has to be like, have a single color behind it and be 100% visible. They are handling it better here for Try, and they're letting a little bit of letter bleed over. I think it looks nicer than what they did for Try in the US, which didn't really look all that great. I understand why they did it. I'm still not happy about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
It at least
I think looking at it from a distance, it looks weird. When you get up close and you realize the stuff going on behind the lettering, it makes sense, but it still strange.
I'm just happy that it actually uses the reverse English lettering for that, because when I saw the Japanese logo originally, my brain went, they are not going to redo that for the English logo, and to their credit, they did.
Yeah. I mean, it would look really bad if they didn't do that.
I mean, think about some of the weird logos we've gotten where they just take the Japanese logo for show and Englishize it. A lot of
it's
Oh, like the Atmon English logo.
See, I didn't even just mean Digimon. It just it happens with anime shows more and more where the logo is just the Japanese logo put into English, even if it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The cover art's what we expected it to be, which is the final poster art.
Further zoomed out than I was hoping for, but that's because they put the big honking banner at the top.
I have to be honest, I like the way the Australian Try covers handle it, and where they just use the flat version of it, they just put it there, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing: on the shelf, it's gonna be on what store shelves are there. It's gonna be sideways, anyways, and it's very clear on the side.
Yeah.
So we get Blu-ray and DVD, no digital copy this time. I like the digital copy, but I understand why they're not going to go to the effort. Most people are going to make their own if they want one.
Yeah.
Joshua Seth confirmed as Ty again, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Laura Summer confirmed she's back as Patamon.
She is a treat on Twitter. I love her
really
so
much.
She tweeted this news at me, and this was the first thing that I saw when I woke up was Laura Summer tagging me in this, and I was just like, Patamon is tagging me in Digimon News. This is officially the best way to wake up in the morning.
It really is. Laura Summer's a gem.
Now,
we just send dog photos to each other. It's great.
Now, someone said...
Yeah, that's right. I interrupted that with a cat picture.
Oh no! Like she just DM'd me a photo of her dog a couple of months ago and said, "This is Andrew. What is your dog's name?" And I was like, "This is the best day ever."
Now, someone said Palmon's actress is confirmed as coming back. I can't find anything about Anna Garduino. I wonder if the person just thought Laura Summer was also Palmon.
Maybe, but I hope that
Palmon comes. Here's the thing: as far as voices go, I'm going to tweak a name that Cartman gave an album into what I expect for the returning cast. Try -1.
Yeah, that's
my expectation.
Safe assumption.
Yep.
For now.
Yeah. Generically, I do know some others, but I've been asked not to say that by the people who've told me until everyone wants to make sure dots and Qs are done this time after what happened with Try in general.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so basically, everyone's reasonably sure they can say stuff, but everyone's sort of waiting for confirmation from the companies involved that, yes, it's okay. Minus Laura Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get more on that soon. Even Shout said there should be a cast list along soon-ish. So hopefully. I think, like, realistically, the old characters, we are reasonably guessing all of them, like we said. The one we really want to know are the O2 characters, because there's a lot of potential there for returning.
Right, you could make some adjustments on that with a few of them. And one, obviously, you have to.
In the original dub of 02, wasn't Iori and Mimi, didn't they have the same English VA?
Yes.
Because she has amazing range.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing is technically speaking, you could have everyone do it, I'd say realistically, except the duo of Cody and Armadillomon.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Felice Sampler could do teenage Cody.
Yeah, that one I'm skeptical of.
And Armadillomon. I love her acting, and she did Cody shockingly great. I don't think teenage Cody will work unless she's just doing the same voice, and I'm not sure that works for teenager.
If you think of it, but what about Izzy had the same voice in 02 as Adventure, and that worked.
Yeah, but try Mona Marshall still lowered the voice a little further.
The problem with Iori is I think that's as low as she can get on that range, and it was already raspy as it was.
Right.
But we'll see. The funny part is Tiffany Christian still does stuff. She doesn't really do voice acting anymore. She's still around, and like they got her for movie 4, Studiopolis.
Mm-hmm. So Tiffany Christian is the real one that's up in the air that you really don't.
Everyone else from that other trio, I could imagine coming back with almost no problem at all.
Yeah, everyone else is. She's
the only one that is like, it's a coin flip when I think about it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so July 7th, the price is good. MSRP is $27 for the Blu-ray, $17 for the DVD. They've already confirmed dual language, and since no one's reading the article before asking, people keep asking. Shout put up their own pre-order already, which has the big lithograph. And it will be interesting to see, because we should get news of Japanese home videos soon, but it's getting worse in Japan, so we may very well not.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I think, I don't remember what you said, May, but I know AR and me basically said this, we weren't expecting it to show up in theaters, even though they were claiming it was a delay. It wasn't.
We covered that before then.
Yeah.
Unless they were seriously planning on delaying the release until like way further back in the year, we were not expecting it in theaters. This date pretty much confirms it.
Yeah, this is fine. This is expected.
It does make me sad for the last part for this, though. It does make me sad. The date clearly was a setup that something was going to happen at Anime Expo, because they probably would have had the disc there and something.
Yeah.
Because the dates line up. This is 2 days after Anime Expo ends.
Yeah.
So.
And the announcement came just the week, a couple days after Anime Expo was canceled.
Yeah. So I think we're all thinking the same thing. Was they were going to announce, hey, there's going to be a panel, there's going to be the booth, it will have the movie early. Now, the only question is were they planning for July 7th or August or something like that? But regardless.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think there's much else to say here. We'll have more to say in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anything else to say about this for now? Minus not that much of a wait.
I'm just stalking the Madman B2B website and just refreshing it until it shows up, and that's my life now. I mean, as I said, I read the novel and I hated it, but I still want to fucking watch it.
Yeah, you still want to see it, yeah.
Yeah. I want to have a different reason for hating it. Like, maybe the animation will be great, I'm positive of that, and the music will be great. But, like, I still fucking hate the story.
Well, like I keep saying, everyone who knows the story hates it, but everyone who's seen the movie loves it. So I'm really fascinated to see this thing.
And
look, to be fair, I also read the novel in Japanese, and Japanese is obviously not my first language, so I might have lost something in my reading of it.
I think it's consistent. It doesn't matter whether you approach it yourself or whether you find a translation. It seems to be pretty consistent that the story is terrible.
Yeah, the story is awful and not unique and just rehashed, but whatever. I want to watch it. I still want to fucking watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I can hate it more.
We got to do podcasting on it anyway, so we're stuck.
And now on to the news that act like it is weird when you consider that this was like the no one expected it, which is V-Tamer is returning for one chapter. And I know for a fact the very instant this was announced, I could hear all the way from Wisconsin AR going, shit, he's going to put that in the show.
Yeah. I'm already concerned that it's like 9:30 already.
To be fair, I tried to move us past Kizuna 2 or 3 times and you guys kept going. So,
carry on.
In V-Jump next month... Go ahead, May.
Are you sure? But are you sure this isn't just another Sabers chapter, Mark?
Carry on, Mark.
I mean, I can let May talk. We want to be friendly. So next month in V-Jump, which is the July cover date issue, V-Tamer comes back for one extra large chapter. Normally when they did these were crossovers, so I kind of wonder if it's something with the new version of Adventure.
Oh, I want that so badly. I want that more than anything else in my entire life.
Because here's the thing. When you think about all the crossovers they did, they never crossed over with Adventure.
Yeah, only 02, yeah.
Yeah, 02.
Yeah. So he never met Taichi, even though he was aware there was another Taichi out there.
Yes.
I think there's so much fangasming possible with speculating what V-Tamer could do because V-Tamer can do literally whatever it wants.
Exactly.
Trying to speculate, we can just go down this really dangerous rabbit hole.
Yeah,
somebody from Atmon.
I will go ahead and go on a ledge and say, unless it's some big multi-season thing, we're not going to see Atmon.
No, I don't. I'd say that 2020 would be a better series to cross over with, but like, could you imagine Eri and him just being cool? And that'd be cool, but
honestly, no, because at that point there's no story.
I was warning about like 2 minutes ago.
That's the thing is, I'm not going down the rabbit hole. Unfortunately, I said one thing, and May like tripped over my foot accidentally.
I'm sorry.
So outside of that, they're also doing promo cards for Taichi and Zeromaru for the new card game, and there's not really much else to say about it because we don't have it, and I do want it. Although I do like seeing Gabu there. Gabu does not get enough credit.
I like Gon. I like Gon and I like Gabu. They're both. I love them all. I love V-Tamer.
Yeah, we'll have more to say about this. Moving on. Hey, it's the third and final for now episode of Adventure.
Yep, the trilogy's over. Go on with your lives now.
Yeah. So that I'm not sure if that played out differently than I expected or exactly how I expected.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
It was exactly for me, except for the summer camp being
but see, I didn't expect the summer camp to be that long because if you want to set up your own, if you want, to a degree, the first 2 episodes were basically statements of, if we're going to pull stuff when necessary, but we're also doing it our own way. At that point, I wasn't sure if I expected them to go through the summer camp. I think it was there specifically to show, that's not happening.
Yeah, it was weird. Like,
it
doesn't hurt. It doesn't take anything away from the episode. Like, if you might as well, like, if you need that moment of Taichi and Koshiro talking and introduce Sora, it's like you might as well do it at summer camp, but for it to just come and go all of a sudden, it seemed a little kind of arbitrary in a weird way.
See, I think that was kind of the point, though, was that I'm not saying that's good, to be fair. I'm just saying I think it worked in the sense that they introduce Sora, they show us Joe, and otherwise the summer camp is just a day when nothing goes wrong after stuff going wrong.
Mm-hmm. And like they accomplish enough at summer camp to justify having those scenes, whether they had to be at summer camp or not.
No, exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it didn't have to be there. I think it was purely there to show that they weren't going to do everything the same right after showing Omegamon, which was different enough, but was also going off things that we all know very well.
Yeah. I think the first half took too long, honestly. That was my big complaint of the episode. I think the whole statement of intent thing should have been wrapped up in the first 2 episodes.
I would honestly say I agree with you that time-wise it took too long, but sitting there watching it, when the fight and that stuff happens, and then the commercial outro happened, I was like, wait, the episode's half over? It feels like I've only been here for 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
as long as that was time-wise, it was not long sitting there and watching.
Mhm.
I honestly thought the episode was only 5 minutes into it, and then, oh, they beat him 5 minutes into
Yeah.
it, and then they're going to do other stuff.
Like,
And it's like, wait, it's been 10, 15 minutes already. It's like, what the hell?
yeah. And then you have to do all of the really, set up the bulk of the story going forward, and in the entire, you only have the second half to do all that.
No, and that's true.
And
But
while I like the second half very much, I think that kind of hampered their efforts a little bit on that.
a bit, but I think that does say something interesting about the pacing, that while it took up half the episode, it didn't feel like that watching it. I mean, it still feels a little bit in shock at just how quickly that moved. And
yeah, it moved fast enough.
As for the actual setup, it's weird because while we did get setup, it also feels like we got none almost. Like, it was more hints of setup until the very end.
Yeah.
Like the Hikari.
A lot of decompressing after what had happened before and talking about that, which is okay because you're kind of reestablishing some of the critical points about the networking issues, about some of the weird miracles that are going on. It's okay to make sure we get those notes carried over because those are going to be important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not really setting yourself up well for the immediate future, for what's going to happen in episode 4.
To be fair though, and this is one of those where you're not wrong, but if episode 4 sets itself up at the beginning, that almost becomes unnecessary, but we can't really trust that's going to happen.
Right.
But I do think it's interesting in that the few things we do see are the character moments that I think the franchise tends to thrive on, like Taichi running past Sora, and Sora very clearly realizes something's going on, and she just turns and starts
that was
to bolt.
A great moment. We didn't get a whole lot of Sora, but what we did get was very well done. Like, we just got the little glimpses, but, right off the bat, we feel like we know Sora really well.
I like her visor.
The visors. I like the visor.
I prefer it to the helmet.
I do too. Especially with that outfit, for sure.
Yes, definitely.
I prefer the visor to the helmet, but the visor upsets me because it's the same thing that happened, and we're like, what's going on when the goggles all of a sudden changed in the Kizuna artwork? Where like, they mentally prepared us for X, and then all of a sudden we're just seeing something different.
I mean, she'll probably have the helmet in the digital world. Like, I'm not sure if it's a whole, like, Miyako's entire...
In the preview, she's wearing the visor still.
But in the intro, in the opening, she's wearing a helmet.
No, she is, but that's where it's like, does she get the helmet later? Does she lose the visor in episode 3 and someone gives her a helmet?
That could be like an end of episode 4 kind of thing.
Yeah.
The way, like Daisuke cracks his goggles so he gets to do one, Sora loses the visor and gets the helmet, something weird like that.
Yeah, which does not suit her outfit at all. Like,
nope.
I will say though, and everyone, including all 3 of us, kind of poo-pooed the color combination. It actually works in the animation, I think.
Oh yeah, I just mean the opening. I cannot poo-poo the opening.
Yeah, I want to see it in action before I make that.
Yeah, the Sora moment in the opening, no one has had anything but positive to say about that.
Yeah,
that's because Sora's so badass, just the expression.
They made her angry. I
didn't really notice. I don't really care about the helmet because Sora looks so awesome.
Yeah. Make her fight. I want to see her fight. I want to see her like punch.
Remember this Sora?
Also,
I love this Sora. I hope she sticks around this time.
Her armband just reminds me of you know how Ruki in Digimon Tamers had the red like tennis bands around, like the sweatbands around her arm. Just reminds me of that. So I just kind of want to see like.
I mean, to be fair, Digimon used to do that a lot because Taichi had one in Adventure.
Takano had armbands too.
Yeah, everyone used to have armbands for. I think it was like to break up wearing the short shirts.
Also, it was kind of like a thing in the 90s. I remember those sweatbands. You would get them everywhere, and they would, if you play tennis or something or some sport, and you'd wipe your forehead with it. They were very in the 90s. I remember being a kid and everyone wearing them for some reason for a good year.
Does it feel weird that everyone that we've met, minus a Flash this time, has got an introduction minus Joe? Doesn't that feel kind of on message for Joe? anyone who got more than the quickest flash in these episodes.
We haven't seen much of Mimi. We've only seen
No,
a
but what I'm saying
second
is
of Mimi.
Mimi only got the flash. Hikari and Takaru, we got a little bit more because there's a mystery going on with them. Mimi, we only got Joe. They have him talking, but they don't do much with him. Mine is having us learn, hey, you know that character Joe? He's still Joe.
Yeah, he's still in this series.
He gets more than Mimi, so.
But that's
this is the downside of doing that. That prologue is that you really want to have a little bit more from like Joe and Takeru.
I think
it's a little frustrating early on. Like
in the case of Mimi, I think it works because I think we're expecting a bigger introduction for Mimi.
Good.
No, but
Mimi's,
but
will have some sort of flashy.
That's what I mean, though.
The thing is, though, like she'll probably be introduced while she's in the digital world already, so that'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I would like her to already be like a super like action woman with like fighting with Lilymon side by side, and she's been doing it for like.
I don't think that's going to happen, considering that's that's been the suggested setup for Sora that we've gone off of.
Yeah,
they're not going to make both the same character.
Oh no, that's not even my Mimi headcanon that I really want for this series, but I'm just saying it'd be cool.
I don't think it works for Mimi.
Oh no, it doesn't, but I think it would be cool. As I said, I've got a good headcanon for Mimi.
We don't know how long the series runs, but there will be ample opportunity for Mimi to be on.
Yes. And I'm sure we'll all be very happy when we see a castle and she pops out wearing a dress.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it's weird because like there's a lot to talk about this episode, but it also feels like a lot of it, like we kind of skipped over the Omegamon fight because it was exactly
There's nothing really to talk about.
No, but that's what I mean. Like,
it was really pretty.
It was a very pretty fight.
It's very pretty. It was also. I see. You said it was short. I thought it dragged on a little bit too long.
No. I said it was long time wise. It felt like it was short.
Yeah, I don't know. I got bored during it.
Really?
A little bit. Yeah. Well, because a lot of it is so. They were doing so much shot for shot from our war game.
I might work. I might work better on that because I'm so used to Dragon Ball Z. 15 minutes for a fight. Man, this is so breezy.
Yeah. That prologue did a few... I'm calling it the prologue because in my blog what I did was compared the first 2.5
I agree.
episodes to the...
I agree with you.
Basically your RPG tutorial fight where they do something... They throw you in the middle of the action way down the road when everyone's all powered up and cool.
I admit...
And then have that moment and then drag you back to level 1 and you're waking up in the village.
I admit I keep having issues in that I want to call it a pilot movie when it absolutely is not. But it feels like the setup works in that way for calling it that, minus that it's clearly not a pilot.
Yeah, it would have worked for me better if they just held it to 2 episodes. I think that's where I'm going to come down.
How shocked are all of us that the classic digital world showed up? I'm shocked, aren't you?
I'm just annoyed there were skeptics on that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's like we said before. It's on the poster. I mean, it's there.
And also, they called what they were in before the network, not the digital world.
Yeah, they were never referring to it as the digital world.
Well,
it's the network.
I'm pretty sure it's actually the digital world. They're using generic terminology from the kids' side for multiple things. Like, there is no...
Yeah, no, it is, but at the same time, by doing that, you're also not setting that expectation, because as soon as, if Koshiro had accidentally called it the digital world, then people will get that expectation, but by calling it the network, you're sort of bracing people to assume it's something different.
Like, no one calls him Omegamon, for example. It is just the white Digimon.
Yeah, no one calls him Omegamon, and Algamon never got mentioned either, which I found interesting.
I think did we see his name on Koshiro's tablet in episode 1? I think
we saw his name very briefly, but
even if we did, it wasn't relevant as far as the name.
Freeze frame kind of thing. So you've got this fight between 2 characters that we do not know. We don't even know their names.
Yeah. I think one nice touch, though, honestly, and it's one of these little things that it doesn't make an episode, but it does show a bit of depth in thinking. Taichi and Koshiro referring to Garurumon while they're talking about Agumon.
Oh, I did not catch that at all. I know they were talking about Yamato, but
They
yeah,
just
I
called
guess
him
they did
Garurumon,
mention.
didn't they?
Yeah,
They did mention Garurumon.
Yeah, they referred to Agumon and Garurumon because they never met Gabumon or had any idea a Gabumon existed.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
found that as fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still just, for some reason, I'm still just amused that they redesigned the tablet from what we originally saw in the poster.
It was a good change.
I'm trying to decide if he's going to get a new tablet or if that was just a design change because they decided that was a bad idea.
I think that I like the design change. I think
so
it
do I.
makes more sense to have that flip book kind of action.
Yeah. So we don't get episode 4 for a while. Do we have anything else to say about episode 3?
So many info dumps. Why?
I wasn't really bothered by him, to be honest.
Yeah,
like
the info dumps didn't really.
I felt like it was too much considering we just saw what we saw, and it was like 3 lots of it, and it just, I don't know, I felt the info dumps were a little bit too much. But that's like it, basically.
Well, what kind of info dumps are you talking about?
Well, to be fair to May, yeah. I've heard this from other people also. I've just never gotten fully clarification on what they didn't like
what
about
info dumps were the problem.
It's basically Koshiro kept on saying what had just happened, and while some of it was important information, like when he told us, the government's just saying it was just an error.
I'm glad that was addressed, though.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that that's okay.
I think it would be
that is normal, and I also like the fact that he actually questioned why Algamon targeted Tokyo. Like that's good, because
he's asking really good questions and raising if that had been completely ignored, and we're just supposed to believe that everyone in Japan nearly got hit with a nuke and went on with their lives.
I'm saying those parts were okay.
AR, you do have to let May respond.
Thank you. I'm saying that those parts are okay. Like that can stay, but I just felt a lot of the time it was just Koshiro talking, and the scenery was great during that time, and that was fine. It's just that I felt like a lot of the episode was just Koshiro talking and talking and talking. And even though we did have good bits of information, which I'm glad were addressed, because why are we targeting Tokyo? Okay, because they were fighting Elgamon. That's good. I'm glad we addressed that. I'm glad that they addressed the fact that Koshiro is concerned about this and Taichi says, I don't care as long as everyone's safe. I just found that the fact that it felt like this episode had 3 large info dumps.
I don't consider those info dumps, at least in the context you're explaining them in, because Koshiro muses on them, and then they kind of move on. If it was an info dump, he would have kept going.
Yeah, but it was like 3 different times that I felt like it was mused on. I felt like it was overdone just a little bit, but that's like all... That's mainly the only negative thing I have to say.
I think what it does for me is it doesn't, I don't mind the information so much, or the, raising those questions so much, as it does, having those long periods of conversation sort of really drags the episode down, pace-wise, considering you have this really intense first half, and then the second half is just all talking. I think that's where I guess I could find some points of criticism with it. Not so much with the information itself.
Yeah.
I would say my main issue with the episode is if you are sitting down to watch a 30-some-odd minute show, it's a little manic mood-wise to go from non-stop battling in the first half to then just walking around talking in the second.
Yeah.
There is a huge disconnect there for what the show is. I don't mind the big battles. I wouldn't have minded if it was the full episode, as long as they had made it warrant that. It just felt a bit off in how quickly they moved.
Yeah, and that's where I go back to I wish the Omegamon stuff had been just contained in the first 2 episodes, and episode 3 could be just resetting and getting us back, getting everybody into the digital world, and maybe even throwing some sort of fight at the end, just to have some sort of action.
You're not wrong. I think they wanted the cliffhanger moment with Omega.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, I think...
I question that.
I don't, because that is what moments like that are made for, is the big crazy thing. I think the main argument could have been that maybe you could have done it by having War Greymon show up earlier and not going with Omegamon. But I also don't think you would have gotten the energy you got off of it without it being him. So I don't know. I already said my piece about the way they split the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the same page with that. Like, it was just that disconnect. Really, that was my one hang up with the episode. Really.
And Yamato appears to live with his grandmother.
I mean, I don't want to make too many assumptions about the family situation.
I'm not
we're all guessing that that he's living in Shimane. But
it's hard not to, with the fact that the house is the same and that's all we have at the moment. Like, we knew Taichi was living in a different place before we saw that the apartment layout was the same, so we already had information. Here, they give it to us in a way where we're just supposed to basically figure it out on our own for now.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that, not so much the location as much as the family situation. Maybe he lives with his dad in Shimane. I'm not making too many assumptions about that.
Yeah. So, thumbs up or thumbs down all around?
I liked it better than the second episode, but not as much as the first episode. So I guess it's still generally better than what we're used to for Digimon. So I guess it's a thumbs up.
Okay.
I gave it a B+.
May?
I liked it, so thumbs up, but I didn't like it as much as the last episode, so I gave it a 3 out of 5, where the last episode was a 3.8, I think, from memory.
See, I'd say thumbs up. I don't know if I don't like it as much as 1. As for episode 2, I don't know at the moment, to be honest. Because 2's hard, because 2 really does depend on episode 1 and 3 to even be fully coherent.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of like I'm still kind of like going, I don't know, I believe I liked it more than AR and maybe around the same amount as May.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I liked it more than this one, because it's harder to gauge 2, at least for me. I'm really looking forward to 4. I think I almost wonder if they could have gone a few more weeks and they just decided all their shows were in the right place to just cut it for now.
Yeah. This feels like the good spot to stop.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want to get, because next episode feels like it's going to be introducing Sora and Piomon and get that first evolution.
And Tentomon.
It's definitely the next. It's definitely the next stage.
Tentomon. We demand Tentomon.
Yeah.
Because he's in the extended
preview. That's actually
an
interesting question, is how they're going to handle the evolution and growth of all of the other kids. Because Sora, I mean, looking at, the titles of 5 and 6, like, you're not sure if they're going to be doing the dragging it along and having one episode per kid to get their initial development and evolution the way they did originally. Like, if they change that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, where are we going to, like, when are we meeting Joe and
also
and Tentomon? Like, when is this is going to happen at some point, right?
When do we get to meet Hikari? Because so far, like, I feel like they want it to be mysterious, but it feels a bit more like Children of the Corn with her.
Yeah, Hikari's just weird.
But
that's, I mean, Hikari's first episode in Adventure she was really weird.
No, I know, but this one, like, they're having her speak a little bit flatter than you'd expect, and they're keeping, like, the wide eyes, and she's staring at Taichi, and it comes across as kind of creepy, if I'm being honest.
No, it is. It definitely is. I think that's the note we're supposed to take.
Well, no. See,
she's just sort of.
Hikari is just sort of broken.
I think that's more a cultural thing in this case. I think we're supposed to be taking it as mysterious, when I think to us it's coming across more as literal creepy Children of the Corn. I think it's supposed to be mysterious or oblique.
Well, I think that part of the reason she's broken is because of whatever mysterious stuff is going on. Because that's kind of that was the case in season 1 of the original. So,
do we have anything else to say about episode 3?
I liked it. I thought it was good setup for whatever we'll see in episode 4. Like, it's definitely okay setup in my eyes.
So, and we all agree, Visor so far is better than Hatmet.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is again read our blogs.
Yeah, I've done a podcast and a blog about this episode. I have many thoughts.
That's what it always boils down to.
Yeah.
I think we'll move on to questions while we do some of the prepared ones. You guys in the chat can go ahead and throw some at us. Now, the first one actually was not adventure related, but I thought it was actually a good one. What is your least favorite Digimon related media and why?
Oh, the media.
The person did not clarify what they meant by media, so I'm taking it as anything that is not like a toy. If it's a game, a movie, music, a show, a comic, a manga, what do we not like that is media?
The Frontier manga.
I've never that's the thing is I've never read the stuff that generally gets frowned on. I've never actually experienced.
Volume 3 is impossible to get your hands on, and
okay,
also
but that's not. That doesn't
skip
mean
over. Fairymon's evolution. She just shows up, and they go, "Oh, where were you?" And she said, "Oh, I got my evolution." And they said, "Okay, moving on then."
I mean, to be fair, randomly skipping over stuff sounds like it's accurate to Frontier.
Yes, but it's even worse than Frontier. It's just like, imagine Frontier.
I don't know. I remember the episode where Fairymon evolved, and I don't skipping that is such a bad idea.
Oh, that's fair because she didn't win her episode.
Yeah, so great, May. You've now made the argument that your least favorite media is better than what it's based on.
No, it's still bad.
Congratulations, May. I mean, okay, it's still bad, but you also rank Frontier very lowly. So you basically made the argument that this is better than what it's based on.
Yeah. But it's still bad. I mean, I like Frontier. I like bits of Frontier, but like this, they didn't even try in the manga.
I'm gonna really cop out into this and just say Lynx.
That's a bit of a cheat of an answer, but I also don't disagree with you.
Answer. I mean, otherwise, I'm just going to say Hunters.
So,
I guess Hunters.
It's just a lame answer because that's sort of the.
I'm going to go with the radio games.
Oh, there you go. See, I've never played those. So
well, here's the thing. One, they're not really good in the first place.
No, they're not. That's why I've never tried to play them.
And they equate to endless nonsense theorizing that doesn't really ever go anywhere, and almost always breaks down into, well, there's time travel and dimensional travel, so it doesn't.
They try to
that's a good answer. We'll say the Wonder Swan game. Yeah.
I mean,
no, I can co-sign on that.
I mean, I'm playing them at the moment. I don't mind them, but they're trying to really be something more intelligent than what they should, and it just makes it not great. But I'm enjoying playing through them.
But to be fair, May, I don't
want to slag on Hunters too much. So yeah, we'll sign on. And
to be fair, May, I'm not sure I trust your judgment because you're here on a podcast with us.
That's fair.
The second question, this one was both fun and the type of thing that will start an argument. Someone wants to know, what do each of us think is our main flaws in regards to the podcast? Who wants to go first? No, each of us naming what we think our main flaw is in regards to the podcast.
Like individual?
Yes.
Oh, well, I can go first. Okay. I don't have opinions on a lot of stuff. Like, if it comes down to
I would say that's number
V-Pet thing, I'm just sort of like, yeah, okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, AR's biggest flaw is just going, I will go next. My issue is I vastly have an issue interpreting when someone is getting off a train of thought. Because I will think that, for example, that AR or May is about to finish talking, and I will get ready to go with a response, and then I will go, and then I will realize, oh, they're not done. Which I think is my main issue, is I'm stepping on them inadvertently. May?
Can I be a dumb feminist for a second?
I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Unfortunately, tragically, I was born with a vagina, and that means that it is exceptionally hard for me to maintain a conversation with two people talking over me.
I I
I've had that my whole life, because unfortunately, people will often, even if someone with a vagina is talking, they will carry on, either like just start talking like they can't hear them, or just talk while they're talking or what have you. But unfortunately, that's just, and I need to find a place in the conversation to jump in, and I feel like I need to be better at working out where I can start talking, because sometimes it is a little bit hard. But it is something that unfortunately I've had to have my whole life because, tragically, vagina. Damn, I killed everyone. Fuck, okay, you guys can fucking talk.
Just
because
take a moment to ponder that, yeah.
The problem with the pondering of that is we all do it to each other to a degree.
Well, we all talk over each other.
Yes.
I think what it boils down to is May needs to talk over us more.
Yes.
Even though that's probably talking over each other, probably not the best listening experience, but
which is why
two of us do it, and
no, we all do it. Remember, I listen to this stuff as it's being edited. We all do it.
Yeah. Oh no, I know I do it.
And like, I can't imagine like how hard it's going to be if we have like a Kizuna podcast with like the three of us, but also Jeff and Victor. Like, that's just going to be everyone's talking very excitedly about Digimon at the exact same time, and no one can get a word in, and then I'll just be quiet.
I don't have any expectation of you being quiet, May, to be honest. I think you undersell yourself on finding your way in.
Oh, but I feel like sometimes I could feel like I'm talking more. Like, sometimes we'll be done with the podcast and I'm like, oh, I didn't really talk much. Like, I feel bad about not being able to contribute.
You talk more than AR.
I feel like I feel like that it depends on what the subject material is. Like, if it's a lot of non-anime related stuff, it's mostly toys and games and stuff, then I'm usually a little more distant, and you and Mark will go on more. Whereas if it's more anime related, like with this episode discussion, I just won't shut up.
Moving on from that, let's see. Let's go to some of the questions in there for now. Skimming. How much of a train wreck do we think the team of Yamato, Joe, and Mimi will be?
I want them to be good.
Do we all believe that that's actually going to be like two different trios?
I mean, I'm
hoping for it.
It's what it looked like, but I don't know if that's supposed to be us taking it a sit up or just showing us that the other three went in.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't get your hopes up too much, but I do hope that that's the situation, and I think I think they can make it work.
See, I think I'm thick because I didn't actually see the other three lights. So I mean, I know they're there because everyone's saying that they're there. But I
missed that first time too. Actually,
I saw the orange, red, and purple lights, but I did not see any other set of lights.
It's not super obvious, to be fair. It is not like in your face. If you blink, you might have missed it like that.
I mean, I'm glad that it's not like, because some people started saying, "Oh, it's TK." Yamato and Joe, and I was like, that's a weird comment. I mean, obviously it's Mimi, and I'm glad that people saying, "Oh yes, Mimi's being left behind." I'm like, no, and then I saw the lights, like, no, that's green.
But that's that's also how subtle it is, though, is that it can be hard to actually notice if that's green at a glance.
I mean, but out of two to leave behind, it makes sense to leave behind TK and Kari, because if you think about the original adventure, TK didn't really evolve much besides the Devimon fight. Like, he wasn't really
Takeru Patamon evolved when they needed a win.
Yeah, and he only evolved like 3 or 4 times throughout the series, but which was good. It made him really, it made sense because he was probably the strongest.
I guess the other reason I kind of hope they would split them up is not only because of the awesome personality clashes between Yamato, Joe, and Mimi, but also to get them, by splitting them up, you get them all a little more, let them express themselves a little more than they would in a giant group.
What's next up? So I want to know, will Monday podcast continue? Probably not in the short term. The original plan was that I would just throw together one more news show. Probably me and AR would burn through the news in the middle of the week, and then we would just have 15 minutes of news during the episode discussion. That's kind of up in the air at the moment. There will be some sort of episode where we'll have to burn through news because we're getting to that point on the new stuff anyways. But when the show's back, we'll do it Monday. I just don't know if we... I mean, we can still do 20 minutes of news on Monday, but without much of a show there, I'm not sure if that's worth it.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll figure something out.
Let's see. This one was one specifically for May, but open for everyone. What will it take over the course of the series for you to think Adventure 2020 Mimi is a better girl than Adventure Prime Mimi?
I mean, this directly relates to the headcanon that I have for Mimi for this season, so I guess my headcanon for the season is what... Did I ever end up saying that? I can't remember because I only said it on... do you mind if I say the headcanon I have?
Yes, but I cannot give you the full 5 minutes we promised you the other time because we're running longer than expected.
Okay, it's about 30 seconds and it's super dumb.
Go.
But this would definitely be easily better than the original. So Mimi is an unhappy heiress. She wants to be more than her last name, and she's struggling to find her own voice besides being the heiress of what the family she was born into. And she wants to be more than this princess heiress, but is having trouble being more because she's young, and also because sometimes she enjoys being a bit of a princess, so she's sort of fighting that, and that's what would easily be better than original Mimi, and that's my dumb headcanon, which will probably not be real, but it would be cool.
I don't think that's going to be real for one reason, is that kind of is like the modern princess story.
I know, but I like
no,
it would do well for Mimi.
What would do it for me is... For me, what made Prime Mimi so great was not so much who she was before, who she was after, but it was the development of going from that one to the other. And I found it was the best development of any character in Adventure. Just
definitely.
A singular series. So what I would be looking for, for reboot Mimi to match that is that same sort of development. Like, it doesn't matter so much to me where she is at the start, it's what she becomes along the way.
Definitely.
I would just like her to act like Try Mimi constantly.
Maybe at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Or at the beginning, and she turns into something, and she evolves into, smooths it out a little bit more.
Let's see. I have to be honest, Joe, I don't quite know what you're asking. Please clarify that and we'll get to it. Going back to the V-Tamer announcement, what do you think we'd have to do to vote with our wallets to get an official English release? I think at this point it's just a manga company deciding they want to do a Digimon manga. I don't think there's voting with your wallets in this case. Getting the figure certainly isn't a bad way to go, but even that is such a niche product. I don't think it could ever equate to sales necessary to show that there's a market for that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. And then the last prepared question someone sent was, in the most recent podcast, it was mentioned that they shouldn't try merciful mode, and it made me wonder, since they remade Wargame in the show, do you think they might try to do that with any of the other films? I kind of hope not.
I could see potentially at the very end,
I know what you're
Revenge of Diaboromon situation, but that also, Revenge of Diaboromon is so tied to 02 that it's really not a good comparison.
True.
Also, Revenge of Diaboromon didn't have, that was upgrading Imperial Dramon instead, so yeah.
True. Any thoughts, May?
I don't know. I am positive we're going to get another Omegamon. Can I just bring up a quick thing in regards to Jogress that Quinn and Steve, you were hypothesizing on happening in Colin, where we get like the ability to mismatch Jogresses between the kids? Because I want that.
I have to be honest, I've seen so many people say that. I get the idea. I don't know at this point. It's come up so much. I mean, if they had something specific, feel free, because I don't know what they actually said. It's just the general idea has come up a lot recently. But I don't know what they actually said about it.
It's like, so Yamato and Taichi have their Joggerus, but then Yamato and Joe might have a different Joggerus.
That's getting a little.
And they're all like
okay. That's not what I had heard from random people. So that's actually a bit different.
I like this one. Yeah, I like this one because it's something I've never heard of before, never thought of. I'm like, no, I kind
see
of
my issue with the idea of different Joggerus. The Joggerus is really more appropriate for 02 because of the way the development of those characters were so tied to their different friendships, whereas the development of the kids in Adventure were very much tied to themselves and figuring themselves out. So I don't know if Joggerus is really, focusing on different Joggerus is a really appropriate kind of evolution that the kids should be going through in Adventure. That's really more of a 02 thing for me.
I get that.
I don't personally like it. I'm not completely against it because I don't think we need to expect that the development will be the same. I feel like it will be to some degree, though. I'm just not sure I like the idea personally. It's still better than the one that I heard earlier, which was that Omegamon is actually a War Greymon evolution, and they could just have the other arms swap in with other characters.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
hard pass.
That's what I imagined when you said this, and I'm just like, I don't want it to be Voltron Force. I really don't.
No, it's not Voltron. What's less Voltron?
Yeah, I don't think there's. Oh wait, Joe did clarify. I have to be honest, Joe. I still don't quite get what. Are you talking about? See, I thought he was talking about them being kicked out of the digital world. I think he means where the human network was disconnected. I think that was an EMP. I don't think that was I don't think that was a hidden plot thing. I think that was literally an EMP, which does happen when there's an explosion.
Yeah,
like that.
the group I was watching this with someone actually said straight up, it's like, oh god, watch for the EMP now.
Yeah, that is something that happens.
Yeah, that is a real thing.
That's normally ignored in multimedia, so it doesn't pop up all that often. Yeah, it was
really cool that they addressed it.
Oh, okay. See, for some reason, I thought he meant like, oh, they won, and then they just woke up outside of the digital world. I thought that's what he was asking.
Yeah, I don't want to try to guess what's going on there.
Yeah. I think that covers everything. I will comment on one thing, though, May. I can't speak for AR, but regarding your concerns about you talking, there are times when I think me and AR don't talk to let you, and then we sort of just jump at it when we realize there's silence.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that.
And we, to a degree, we all do it, but I think what happens is we think you're not talking, and then we start talking more, which just exacerbates it because we're not sure if you have anything to say, or like last time where you had to leave quickly and we didn't realize it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No. And that happened. That's, I just meant in the sense of sometimes we don't know what's going, because we don't necessarily know if sometimes AR silent. I think maybe he's popped off, and I wonder if AR's vanished. I have to start talking more. If we are stepping on you more than you think's happening back and forth, you just need to let us know, and we'll work on it.
I'll just like scream high pitched into the microphone, and I think my message will come across. That part was a joke, by the way.
You don't need to do that, May, because we can hear it from your keyboard.
Yep, that's fair. I've got a very loud keyboard. Brady hates it. Brady wants to throw it out the window.
There are honestly times, May, when I only know you're here because I start hearing clacking.
Yep, I'm here because I have cherry blues. You can hear it. Like, this is me typing.
Yeah, have some respect for us, May. I have reds. So when I type, I can do this.
Beautiful.
AR, where can they find you?
Digimon.firstagent.net is my review blog. I'm also a First Agent ARP.
You cut out while you're talking, AR.
First Agent ARP on Twitter, and which part did I cut out on?
It just, while you're talking, just all of a sudden you just went blank.
He forgot.
Yeah, it just made me laugh because then I could finally hear you again, and it just made me laugh because.
Okay.
May, where can they find you?
Lost in Translation, the reviews and podcasts have been uploaded there. You can also be found at lostintranslationmon.com. I'm active on the Lost in Translation on Twitter. So basically, Lost in Translation literally everywhere.
And me and May can both also be found at the subreddit.
Screaming
don't go
into
there.
a void.
Don't go there. It's the bad place.
May literally has been a mod for about 2 years, I'd say, May.
Yeah, 2
You're
years.
slowly morphing into me personality-wise.
Oh, no.
And the sad thing is that's really not a joke. You really have been.
No.
You guys can find me with the Will. We'll figure out the new stuff. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We will catch you guys next time, whenever that is. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.